I'm a 14-year breast cancer survivor. It is my privilege to come and speak to you today and tell you my story. We've all been touched by cancer. We all know someone, some close to us and some just friends, that have been touched by cancer. My diagnosis came in the spring of 2000. I was 40 years old, I had a job, I was a wife, I was a mother. I had 7-year-old twins and a 15-year-old son. I found a lump during my self-breast exam. I went for a mammogram and a biopsy. I wasn't scared because I had had a lump once before and it was benign. After my biopsy surgery, I couldn't even say the word cancer. I remember sitting at my kitchen table with my mother and said to her, "Did the doctor actually say the C word?" And she said, yes, she did. My diagnosis was actually in May of 2000, and it literally stopped me in my tracks. But actually, life did actually go on around me, as usual. I had kids that needed to be fed and get to school. They had to do their homework. I still had a job. It was all different, though. There was an uncertainty that I can't even begin to describe. I had recently lost a friend that had a 10-year battle with breast cancer, and she left behind her children, and I saw the effect that it had on them, and I did not want that for my children. I needed to be there to watch them grow up. After my biopsy surgery, the doctor told me to bring my family and come to her office. She said that I had to make some choices. She called them choices. I'm not sure I called them choices. I didn't have much of a choice, but I did need to make some decisions on the treatment that I was going to have. The next few months were a blur of treatments, feeling sick, tired, good days, bad days. I would have my chemo on Friday, and then Monday I would go back to the hospital for my steroid shots. Then I would go to work from Tuesday to Thursday, and we would start all over again. I finished my chemo in August, and I felt I finally reached the end. I still have some medication to take, but I reached the end of my treatments, and then in October I found another lump in my other breast. I was completely devastated. I didn't understand. I did everything that the doctor said that I should. I followed her directions. I went through all of the treatments. And I got prepared for another biopsy surgery. I was actually at the hospital getting ready for the surgery, and the nurse came in and said, "I'm sorry, we can't do your surgery today because we found something in your EKG that's different than it was before." So I went through some more testing, and it dragged out through Thanksgiving. Tried to be positive and not let my children know that there was anything wrong again. And finally in December, I did have my biopsy surgery, and thankfully it was benign. There were other surgeries that followed over the next 2 years. Some were complications from the chemo, and some were because of medication that I was taking. But through all of this, I am so thankful for all of the wonderful people this experience brought into my life. My church family, my friends, my co-workers, they surrounded me and my family with so much love and generosity that we were overwhelmed. They brought meals to my house. They sent me cards and just gave me words of encouragement as I went through my day-to-day. I do remember 2 ladies from church. They were older ladies that called me one day and said, "We're coming to the house and we're going to take your kids out to eat." They took my kids out to eat, and they brought them back, and they played computer games for 2 hours with the kids. And that was such a relief to me because I didn't have to worry about them for that period of time. And these ladies were not computer people. I mean, my kids had to teach them how to play. But that was awesome to me. There were nurses at St. Luke's Hospital here in Quakertown that gave me great advice along the way. Also, the American Cancer Society has a Survivor Network program where they put you in touch with a woman who has already been through what you're going through when you are newly diagnosed. And you can call them at any time. And I called them a lot of times, not at my best moments, but they were always there for me. They have a program called Look Good, Feel Better, and they give you advice on when you're going to lose your hair, getting your hair cut, and getting your wig ahead of time and being prepared for that, and how to put on makeup when you lose your eyebrows and you're not feeling so good about how you look. And then my first relay event. Between my surgery and my chemo, I went to my first relay event in Upper Perk. That was an amazing experience to me. I saw a community coming together for a great cause. I got reacquainted with old friends that I didn't even know were diagnosed, and some had gone through some of the same things that I was going through. Met new friends that I've had for the last 14 years. But mostly it showed me that I was not alone and that there was hope. There's something that you may not think that you make a difference by on your own, but if you put together a relay team, and then those teams put together the relay event, together we can help raise money so that our daughters and granddaughters may not have to go through the same things that we did. My experience also reset my priorities. I had to take stock of what was important to me. Was it more important for my house to be spotless or for me to spend time with my family? And I chose my family. I took better care of myself. I learned to eat better and exercise. I also volunteered to be the voice on the other end of the phone for women that are newly diagnosed. I felt like I didn't want to just forget my experience, but I wanted to give back. I also did several studies at the University of Penn for breast cancer survivors. They teach interns to give breast exams to women that have had mastectomies and learn how to measure your arm in different ways for lymphedema, and several other studies that I've done with them. And to the ladies, I want you to remember that when you are wearing all of your hats, mother, wife, taxi driver, maid, cook, appreciate what you have, take care of your health, and take time for you. And caregivers, I don't want you to ever think that you don't have something to give. You don't need a special talent. You don't have to be a great cook. You just need the smallest thing that you can do. People came to my house and did laundry, which was awesome when you have 3 children. So you always have something that you can give. And I want to thank you all for coming together today for this relay event and making a difference for our future. Thank you.